Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So today on Isaac News, we're looking at African Development Bank and one of its recent publications. So African Development Bank AFDB recently dropped a publication that says Nigeria, others records about $95 billion diaspora remittance in 2021. So Nigeria and some other African countries recorded about $95 billion diaspora remittance. So diaspora are those citizens of a particular country living elsewhere. Okay, why the diaspora? Because those people have not nationalized in those countries they found themselves in. So you have, for example, now Nigerians maybe in the US who have not applied for the US citizenship. So they are in the US and are not recognized and don't see themselves as US citizens. They see themselves as Nigerian citizens. Okay, those are diaspora. So you have nationals of a particular country in another country. So if you find yourself in a country other than your place of nationalizations or your place of citizenship, you are among that your nation's diaspora community in whichever nation you find yourself. So we have Nigerians diaspora in USA, in Canada, in Australia, in the UK, in Germany, in China. Think of it. We have, and not just Nigeria, every other country, they have their diaspora community. So that is the diaspora community in any country. So the African diaspora community sent back $95 billion in the year 2021. So as Nigeria and other African countries continue to explore alternative sources of revenues in order to meet their developmental challenges, so it takes a lot of money to build world-class infrastructure. Look at Qatar, that just hosted the World Cup. They spent an estimated $200 billion. $200 billion they spent from, I don't know, I think from when they won the bid for 2022 World Cup. They spent a lot of money putting up all those world-class stadia that we see on the screen. They built new railway systems that will link people down to the stadium. They built new airports. They modernized most of their airports. So they really put, and this is, speaking of, they probably used 10 years or maybe a little bit less, but I think 10 years. I think they won this bid in 2010. I think this is about 10 years or maybe give or take 7 to 10 years to do the things we are seeing right now. Not the whole of Qatar, but a lot of modernization, finishing touches, and the stadiums, many of them were built from scratch. Many of them were renovated, expanded, a lot of work, and estimated $200 billion was being used to do part of a lot of the work that was done in the last 10 years in order to prepare to host this World Cup. Now, the reason I'm mentioning all this is just to tell you that it takes a lot of money, okay? It takes a lot of money to build world-class infrastructure. So this report was made from facts, that the value of the remittance from the African diaspora community has actually doubled from $37 billion in 2010 to $87 billion in 2019. Crazy. As of 2010, the remittance coming back to Africa was about $37 billion. And the ones coming back in 2019, $87 billion. As of 2021, last year, $95 billion have come back into Africa. So the president, said that, there is still a lot more to be done, but that the African diaspora community is the largest supporter of the African continent. According to him, Egypt and Nigeria are among the top 10 remittance recipients globally. Top 10 remittance recipients globally. Meaning, it's very nice. A lot of Nigerians, really want to go abroad, feeling that life over there is far more, is so easy, so rosy. Other things. Life over there is actually better in many sense than life over here. I'm not denying that, okay, but it's not automatic. It's not just like at the snap of a finger you get what you want. Okay, you have to work hard over there too. But a lot of Nigerians who rushed over to Europe and to the West, to America, to Australia, Asia as well. That is China, India, the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, some Qatar, South Korea, Turkey, Japan. A lot of Nigerians move around a lot. Even Russia, Ukraine, although a lot of people had to come out from Ukraine. When these guys do this, reality hits them and they see that the picture painted by Hollywood is not reality. That's Hollywood. Hollywood paints the most amazing picture of the West, of Europe, of America. But when they go down there, reality hits them and they find out that, wow, for many of these people, they don't want to live there permanently. So they send a lot of money back, and they find out that a lot of money is needed to build, to restructure a nation. So kudos to these guys and to other Africans living abroad who are sending money, that is amounting up to 95 billion dollars. Now, this is the officially recognized fee. What of the amount of money sent unofficially, like the money your uncle sends to you, the money that maybe NGO sends to other bodies in the African continent that are not being documented. So there's a lot of money coming in from the diasporan community, and we truly applaud them for this. So Egypt actually receives about $31 billion in 2021, being the highest remittance recipient in Africa, seconded by Nigeria, about $19 billion in the year 2021. Now, despite all this, there are still some hitches that we face regarding remittances back to Africa. So the president of AFDB, African Development Bank, is saying that we should eliminate the African premium charged on remittances, as the cost of remitting funds to Africa is twice what it is to remit to South Asia. So when you want to remit money to Africa, there are still some charges that will be demanded of you to remit money. And these charges have discouraged or slowed down the amount of money that could be remitted back to the African nation. So they are pushing that this premium charge should be just scrapped out totally, so that just anyone and everyone can remit, no matter how small they want to remit, but they can remit into the account created for remittances, which is why diaspora bonds have been created and are effective to harness remittances for development of Africa. And despite these remittance bonds which have been created that is supposed to help with the ease of remittance for Africans in diaspora, only 4 African nations actually have actually employed this remittance bond: Ethiopia, Kenya, Ghana, and Nigeria. These are the only 4 African nations. Even Egypt, that received the highest amount of remittance from its diaspora community, have not. South Africa, shockingly, have not also keyed into these diaspora bond remittances. This doesn't mean these nations receive a lot of money, but then the process is less hitch-free than those who have adopted the remittance bond method. The flow of remittance to Africa is high, it is rising, and it is stable. It offers huge opportunities to serve as a collateral to secure financing for Africa. So we have a lot of our people sending money back to Africa, and it is laudable, it is commendable, and it's rising. This is why we really need to ensure that we put the measures in place to make it easy for remittances to occur. So according to the president, he said African countries should scrutinize remittances to promote investment, especially investment as regards infrastructure on the African continent, stressing that the diasporan community can offer a lot more than remittances and investment. So we can set up structures where a lot of them can come back to help rebuild their different countries and their different economies. We have a lot of Nigerians who have come back to build startup companies, to build tech companies, to build automobile industries, to build things that are obtainable abroad that we lack in Africa, in Nigeria, that can just make things a lot more easier. And this is what the diaspora community has to offer: a lot of skill and technical know-how. So this is why all governments in Africa should prioritize affairs of the diaspora. We should prioritize them. We should give them a level playing field to come and do what they want to do in their own country of birth. Policies should be established, to prioritize specific needs of diaspora as well as to equally expand investment opportunities for them through special incentives. So a lot should be done, like a lot should be done to help them do what they can do. But just in summary, we are really thankful that a lot of these monies are coming. I personally know of, I've watched videos of people abroad who don't want to remit into the central bank's remittance account, but they are giving money to NGOs in Nigeria who they trust, who they feel are doing honest work, doing a good work, and to help to maybe the children, or help ladies, or help those who are physically challenged, who are disabled, to help any sector they can help. So we have a lot of NGOs sponsoring them. That is equally a form of remittance, and most of these monies are not being documented in the official documentation. So I personally feel that a lot of money has come in, is coming in, and will keep coming in. And so we are good for this. Like I said, the African diasporan remittance is the largest financier. The African diasporan committee is the largest financier of the African nation, of the African continent. All the grants, all the bonds, all the aids, everything we receive from the world, it is not up to the amount of money we get from diaspora remittance. Please, I am in no way belittling the efforts that the West is making and has made to support us in the different ways they have been doing. All I'm saying is that we have more money coming in from the diaspora. So we should actually begin to plan on how to properly harness and use this money in a very, very productive way, because they are the largest financier of the African continent, and this figure will only keep rising. Only keep rising. So like I said earlier, kudos to these guys. We pray that God bless them and God strengthens them and help them to keep remitting this money, and most importantly, that the money remitted will not be embezzled, will not be abused, but it's going to be used to do the good work that is already being done. So this is the end of today's video. Please like, share, subscribe, and as always, share your thoughts on the comment section. Till we see again, remain blessed.